What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Halftime with Bizzy. Very excited to have today's guest on, but before we get to introducing today's guest, I would like to thank each and every one of you because we had Lily Q on last week. Her episode within 24 hours was the second most watched podcast on the channel. So I got to thank each and every one of you guys. Support has been greatly appreciated, and I love each and every one of you, man. Shout out to each and every one of you that check out the podcast, man. Today we have Bob Calvery joining us. I keep seeing his name within the Twitter community, and he has a lot of cool stuff going on, so it's been a pleasure to have him on the podcast and share the things that he's working on and the things that he's creating. Bob Calvery has a website called Skinscore, and the whole idea with Skinscore is to have viewers come and get their skins checked out on stream. With Skinscore, it's a way to acknowledge viewers' skin crafts and kind of break them down into different categories rather than your typical streamers who go and look at a skin for 5 seconds and then move on to the next one. Bob Calvery has a vision with this, and he wants to dive more into looking into people's crafts and acknowledging them and giving the props that they deserve. And that's what we're coming at with you today. But I hope everybody enjoys the episode. And shout out to Tyson for pulling up to this intro. Right, buddy? All right, everybody, I'll catch y'all on the outro. Tyson's gonna sit here and he's gonna listen with you. All right, we'll catch you on the outro. Hey man, how's it going?
I don't know what the fuck happened there. Did you see that I wasn't in the call when you joined?
Yeah, it was flashing, but it was like my icon, and then I clicked it, and I was the only one here, and then you just randomly just popped up somehow. I'd never seen that before.
That was weird as fuck. Okay.
Well, we're here now.
Yep.
Well, thanks for making time out of your schedule to do this, man. I appreciate it. I've been looking forward to it.
Of course, man. My pleasure.
All right, well, let's start with your roots. What's the backstory on how you got involved with Counter-Strike?
Well, I think it was 2016. The first time I played Counter-Strike, I just got into PC. I was a big Gary's Mod player, and a friend of mine wanted me to play Counter-Strike, you know?
Uh-huh.
And I tried. He bought me the game because I didn't want to buy it. I was more of a Call of Duty player back then. And I played it, and I fucking hated it. And then, a year after, and this is why my main account has a VAC ban on it, the year after, I started playing it again. And I cheated in it because I was bad.
Oh,
and I
damn.
found enjoyment in cheating. And then I got a VAC ban. I got what I deserved. So flash forward, I think, 5 years in 2021 when Rio started happening. So like 2022, actually.
Okay.
When Rio started happening, I started playing again. And, I bought the whole major thing, the whole shebang. Started watching esport. And then I kind of just got hooked on the game. Actually started enjoying the game there. So big gap in between the first time I started playing it and when I actually started enjoying the game. I mean, shit, you learn from your mistakes, you know?
Hey, man, and when you're young, too, and, especially when you're playing Gmod and you kind of do whatever the hell you want, and then you discover cheats and stuff, like, I feel like a lot of people cheated when they were, kids, if you want to say that, young teenagers, whatever.
Yeah.
It's pretty common. So, like many of us, it was a matter of time before skins got a hold of us in the CS scene, especially, like I just said, when we were a bit younger and just getting introduced to CSGO. What was it that drew your attention to skins? Because I know that's a pretty big part of you and what you do.
I mean, that's kind of funny because at first, like, I'd say, like, it started in 2016. I remember playing games in the Dragon Lore. The Dragon Lore was a big deal back then. Of course, the prices and like everything, that wasn't what it is today, you know?
Not even close.
But shit, just like seeing big drops at the end of like every game and shit like that, that was pretty goddamn crazy. And like the gambling aspect of this scene too. But back then, this is what exposed me to the skins at first. And I remember like buying knives because I ran some Gary's Mod servers and had like some pocket money because people would donate to my servers.
That's pretty neat.
So I remember buying knives. I got scammed out of one of my knives back then.
Oh.
And then like I eventually got no skins in my inventory, and then I got VAC ban. And then in 2021, I was like, why the fuck are skins that expensive when I came back?
Yeah, dude.
And this is kind of what like started it for me. And conveniently, I started like getting knives and shit. I just started buying things and I started trading. I was like, why not? I mean, this looks like a fun thing to do. So I started trading, and the way I did it is I would trade at a loss, but I would like kind of look at the market, how the market would go up with time, and I'd
Oh, the
make
long term.
predictions. Yes, and I made a lot of money from big traders, often looked at as shark, by doing that, and that's really how I got into skins, really. And then like eventually I got to 1K in my inventory. I ended up getting I think the first knife I got, like the first big I tier knife I got, was like a ruby falcon knife.
Oh shit. Okay.
And then after, like, I did a bit of gambling there, because
Uh
like when you have a
oh.
smaller inventory, I feel like that's what it kind of, it's appealing to try like gamble,
Like, why
because you're
not?
trying to hit big, yeah. Uh, and eventually I just kind of did a bit of trading, and I'd say about 2022, before CS2 was announced, I started investing, and that's when I really
Oh.
kind of like got into skins. uh I remember like putting, I think, 100 or 200 bucks in Antwerp sticker capsules, the legend capsules, back when they
Okay.
were like 40 cents or like 30 cents. And well, 6 months after CS2 was released, they went up to $3. I made over 1,000,
Oh
and
my.
I was locked in. I was locked in.
It's hard
I
to
got
turn
my
away
emerald
after
knife and all
that.
that. Oh yeah, that I was locked in. There was no going back. I saw the potential of skins there, and I mean that's what locked me in, really.
And just to see what CS2, like, even just the announcement of CS2, like those 3 videos that were teased, like those 3 1 minute videos that Valve put out, that even made a little bit of a boom. But then the day that Counter-Strike came out, I just remember me and my buddy, we were looking on Skimport at the time, like, okay, what could we buy that would look super good in CS2 and wouldn't cost too much right now? He bought like 4 blue phosphoruses, like 4 Twilight Galaxies, and they all like doubled in price. Like, it's insane what CS2 did to the like skins market.
Have they recovered ever since? Like, have they
Ah,
gone back down? Because I know the market crashed a lot.
yeah, it did. I'm not sure if they ever went back to what they were. I'm sure they probably are still worth a bit more than they were when my friend bought them like hours before CS2 launch, but just to see the jump in the market is like, it's so insane that this is like the community really drives this game.
Oh yeah.
So, were you ever hooked? Well, you kind of talked a bit about it already about your gambling and stuff like that. Were you ever like hooked on case openings? Because, like, as a young teenager and stuff like that, getting into the game, maybe you don't have a lot of bills to pay and stuff like that. It's so easy to just dump hundreds of dollars into cases. I did it myself. Were you in that kind of position too, or were you more focused on just buying what you wanted and investing?
Um. Well, I did gamble when I first came back. So like I mean, I don't know if we need to drop like names for gambling site. I don't know how you want to do this, but I did gamble on a specific site.
Okay, you don't have to drop
And,
names, whatever you're comfortable with, man.
um and like I would gamble every now and then. When I was younger, I would kind of gamble. I remember gambling on like on matches,
Oh yeah,
and
for sure.
that's what I did, but I lost money and then it kind of pissed me off and I never did it again.
Okay.
Um so like but one of the max when I hit was like a massive return. I bet on an underdog team back then, and I got like an M4 A1S Hyper Boost.
Oh,
I think it
okay.
was factory new too. So like it was a pretty goddamn good return.
Yeah, for sure.
Um but I didn't really get hooked on case openings at all back then. I did do a lot of case opening ever since I came back though. Like ever since 2022, 2021.
Okay.
But I would not say I've been hooked. To me, it's always been a matter of like I have like money that's just standing there. I'm not doing much with it. And like I'm with friends, for example. Like I have an audience, some people that just open cases with, and like they get a good vibe going.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
I open them to see what's gonna happen. I'm not trying to hit big. I'm not trying to hit anything. To me, like gambling, apart from like the gambling side thing, when I had like a smaller inventory, and that was to hit big to try and get like things that I would not need to spend, for example, $200 for. that I just put like $50 and then I cash out with 200.
Yeah.
That really happened when I had like a smaller inventory. But for cases, it's always been of like a matter of having the vibe and just see things that I would not usually buy appear in my inventory. There are a few right now. I unboxed like a Chrome Cannon. I would
Oh,
have never
damn.
bought that. I don't like that skin. I unboxed like a StatTrak Inheritance.
Shit.
I like that skin, but I would have never bought it. Neon Rider, never would have bought that. Like to me, this like it's weapons that I'm gonna keep because I unboxed them, but I never would have bought because it just doesn't fit my kit.
If it happens kind of thing. You're just casually just chilling with the friends and whatever happens, happens.
Oh yeah, exactly. That's basically the vibe.
Right on. So, what was it like when you started your collection? Did somebody in the community inspire you to start collecting skins, or were you just trying to make profit in the skin scene?
That's a very good question because when I started collecting, I feel like when I really switched from investor to like collector, um, well, it started off as like trader because I traded. I transitioned from trader to investor, and then after kind of like quitting the trading at like entirely, I basically just went, well, if I'm gonna collect, I'm gonna buy weird ass shit, and no one really influenced this. Apart maybe from Dior, because he kept shitting on like on cash traders, and then I
Okay.
kind of agreed with his opinion. Right now, like it's ironic because I'm not really in good terms with the guy,
Mm-hmm.
but he did influence that, and I gotta give that to him. Uh, so I kind of transitioned in there and start collecting without really realizing, really, because I was investing, but also kind of buying weird shit. Like just for example, I have dual Berettas that are pattern 888. I have two or three pairs of dualies pattern 888.
Oh, that's pretty
Just
interesting.
just because, right? Lucky number, I guess. I bought that. It lights up a light bulb in my head. I
Very
buy it.
unique.
Very unique, but very unliquid too. Illiquid, that's for sure.
Yes.
Um, and I mean, that's kind of how I started collecting. And at some point, I remember making a tweet. That's back when I joined. Like, it took a while before I joined the CS Twitter community. And I remember making a tweet for like a New Year resolution that I'd get three more 697, and that's like what I'm widely known for nowadays for my nuclear garden collection.
I was gonna ask about that. Yeah.
Yeah. And this started as me saying I'm gonna buy two more, and by the end of the year I'll have two more. I'll have like a gold arabesque. I give up on the gold arabesque. I got a hydroponic instead. Fits the green kit a bit more
Oh, for
considering
sure.
I have a hedge maze. And I said that I get like a 5/7 fall hazard. And what I ended up doing, it's very funny. I did not go for like two more. I actually went for like 33 more, I think.
You say
So
33?
yeah, I have like
Oh
34 697s now.
my god.
I think 34. Either 34 or 32. I know like it's an even number.
Well, you don't hear that every day, that's for sure.
Yeah, went downhill. Like it goes downhill quickly when collecting, and I feel like if any collector is watching, I think they can relate.
Yeah, and it's so easy. Like, I just started using Float recently. Like, a couple buddies showed me Float. Back in the day
Yeah.
when I heard of Float, it was not a marketplace. So when someone brought this up to me, I was like, "What the hell? This is crazy." But it's so easily accessible, and it's just like Float specifically is foolproof. Like, it's just so easy to just collect whatever the hell you want. If it's there, it's
Oh
just
yeah.
a couple clicks and you're off to the races.
Hell yeah. 100%.
So let's talk about Skinscore. You're the main creator of that, right?
Yes.
So, like, what is Skinscore all about for people who may not know?
Well, it's a way to grade skins. It's a way to look at skins and not and actually like value the time of people who made the craft.
Okay.
So, essentially, you have all of these fields like how well the stickers look on the skin, how swag the craft is, and how much you like the skin because there's a grading for both the skin and the craft. And at the end, you have a little card, and like you have a score, and you know you got you got all of these like different types of rating. Exceptionally goated, masterpiece. You got legendary, which is like I think the most coveted thing and like the rarest thing right now. Only I think 6 or 7 people ever have managed to get legendary in all of Skinscore, and that's like in 6 months.
Oh,
So
damn.
yeah, it's very like I myself have never managed to get a legendary on my own system. It's
Oh,
very
wow.
difficult.
So, like, what
Uh,
inspired this whole, like, it's such a unique, like, I don't think anybody else has something even relatively close to this. Like, how did you come up with such a unique idea?
I mean, and this is gonna be funny, but it's cause it came from a place of disdain of the current meta for looking at crafts. It didn't come from like an idea, rather it came from an annoyance. I just disliked how I would go to a stream, show the craft. It took me like maybe fucking 2 days to come up with or make, and the person would just go, "Oh, W." It would take literally 15 seconds, and then they'd be on to the next skin,
Oh,
barely even
man.
taking the time to like look at the craft. It
Not
annoyed me,
acknowledge
and
it.
yeah, and it started with a tweet. After that, I was like, I could go live because I love skins. In case you couldn't tell, uh, I could go live looking at skins, and I'd come up like with an application. What do you guys think? That was basically the tweet. But basically, that was it. And then you had like 2 people, because I was very new to this yes Twitter community. So I like there's like 2 people who said yes, and I was like, fuck it, I'll do it. And then I started posting about the progress, and it kind of caught the eye of some people. And then I eventually went live with it, and I got to say, it picked up very quickly. Like people loved it. And we've come a long way. I'm just gonna say we've come a long way. Back then, my moderators on Twitch were the ones like doing the gen codes and all of that.
Okay.
So and now it's all automated, and now people can like rate the skins along with me. I can open chat votes and stuff. I can create predictions automatically. Like we've come a long, long, long way.
It's massive production.
Oh yeah, it's a
This is
lot
good.
of fun.
I was gonna ask you about that. So you have a Twitch channel where you stream Skincore and rating the skins and whatnot, and you actually involve the community with it. Like the chat is helping you with all of this.
Yeah, yeah. Well, so essentially, I have the Discord for like the community to help like evolve the app, and then to involve the community, we got multiple things really. We got the way I do things is you throw your inspect link in the chat, and then we got like a CS:GO case opening simulation, and then it's
Oh,
filled with the submissions of people, so like their skin, and the colors are random. So if it lands on a pink, well, whatever it lands on, the person that it lands on, they get their skin inspected first. And then the colors are randomized. And if that person happens to have like a pink color or a red color or a gold color, they get a free skin. And if it's a gold, they get a free knife, a free glove. So that's a way to get them involved and to kind of get that that little CS Gamba style, right?
yeah. Oh, yeah, for
Uh,
sure. Classic.
so it gets people rooting for gold, 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 as well as to root for them when a case opening happens. Um, and then whenever we're rating, I can click a little thing which will open chat votes, and then they literally just get to put a number from 1 to X in the chat and say whatever they want.
That's so
uh
awesome. You have this all figured out. This is super cool.
yeah, I mean, I am a software engineer too, like to give a little bit of background, so I do this for
Okay.
a living. I went to school for 5 years for that, so yeah, it's not just a hobby. You know I paid to go to get education in computer science.
Well, it paid off. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. I can't deny.
And it's like it's just so unique too, because just like you said, you go to a streamer, you say, "Hey, check out my skin." They're doing like, they'll go on Nuke or something. They'll have all the skins on the bridge and throw them into the water and stuff. They're looking at it for like 5 seconds, like you said, and then you're just forgotten about. With what you have now,
Hmm.
people they spend their hard-earned money and they come up with these unique crafts, especially since the 5 sticker placements update, and now you can put them wherever you want. Like, it gives a whole new appreciation for someone's skin, and then like the way you involve chat and everything, like that's so unique, and like I can't believe no one has already been doing this. Like, I don't know, you're doing it the right way. It's just super unique. I love it.
I, After like looking at it for a little while though, I understand why some people aren't doing it. It's very slow to use skin score. Like I'm gonna look at one skin per 5 minutes usually, which
Okay.
means a lot of people do not get their skins rated per stream, and they have to come back to the other streams that, like see if they're lucky. I did had like countermeasures to like skip the queue with points, but it's still something that I wish I could fix. But then I'm starting to realize with the system I've designed, it I cannot fix that. The only way to do it properly would be to go faster on every skins, but this means involving chat a little less predictions. So it is the downside, and that can for someone with like 300 viewers with a lot of submissions, I can see why it would not be that convenient to use a skin score.
There's a lot of trade-offs, maybe.
Yeah, a lot of trade-offs for efficiency, but I feel like content-wise, skin score is so much better than just regular inspec, you know.
Oh, for
But
sure.
in terms of efficiency, definitely there's a little issue there.
So you've gained a pretty solid attraction to your show on Twitch and of course Twitter too, helping, cross over the community over to your Twitter or your Twitch rather to come and see this live. And you've also had some guests that are pretty well known within the community. Tell us some of the guests that you've had on so far and how you kind of got to, get to know them and whatnot.
I just got lucky, bro. I just got lucky. I don't know. Uh, I got Turbine. I got Duop. So Turbine, I mean, Turbine, I kind of met for the first time. I mean, we chatted in DMs on Twitter before that, but I met for the first time, like in a VC, while doing Shark Tank
Oh,
thing.
okay.
So I was a shark and he was a shark, and we were basically on the same team, offering thanks to people like the skin creators, like showing their skins. So that's how I got to meet him for the first time, and eventually he just kind of popped up in my chat and submitted a skin and was like that skin because I told him it was ass. Uh, he was like, let's rate it, and then he ended up getting extremely goaded, and I was like, bro, what the fuck?
Oh
And
man.
and yeah, and I was like, would you be down to join me as a guest? And he said yeah, and then he asked if he could bring Doo-Wop, and that's how I
Oh
got to meet Doo-Wop.
man.
Like this is what I'm saying. This is honestly just things worked out well for me. Luck, I guess, for the most part.
Hard work
Uh,
pays off, man.
there was Remix Float. Remix Float I got to meet because he rated me. Because of he knew me because of Jab GG, and Jab GG. Some people, the reason he knows me is because some people, at some point, Jab made a tweet asking who's a collector that he should be following, and a lot of people tagged me in that tweet.
Damn.
And that's how Jab got to know me. Like a lot of big names, that's how it went. As for Mump and like other names that are not as big as these guys, but I feel like deserve as much recognition as them. Mump, definitely one of the coolest guys I know, by the way. Mump, I met him in my chat. He joined my stream, got his skin rated, and then I discovered that he streamed after. Not too familiar if you know about the JXS thing that happened in the Twitter community.
Yeah, I was around for that. That was a very weird and sketchy situation all around.
Yeah, well, Mump was a person who supported JXS, and it kind of went full circle. And I
Oh.
feel like when that JXS thing happened, a lot of people transitioned to like my channel. I'd say my channel, maybe remix a little bit. Other people who looked at skins, you know.
Mhm.
And I feel like that's the reason why I met a lot of other people I had as guests. Um, yeah, that's about it. Honestly, when it comes to guests, I think that's I've got a lot more planned, and I've got a few names on the guest list. But for now, I think I need to keep that quiet.
All right. Well, giving some people some insight on what to look out for in the future. You got some stuff in the works.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've got a doo-wop stream because they asked for that. That's for sure. So
Oh yeah.
a new doo-wop stream, but like doo-wop by himself this time because that's what chat asked for. And he said yes, so that's something to look out for. I mean, we got Skinscore. That's obviously gonna, and I've teased that in my stream. Skinscore is gonna release publicly eventually.
That would be really
Um,
huge.
there's gonna be a public leaderboard soon. So that's something I'm working on. I got a new developer, Business Monkey. Shout out to my fella.
Shout out to Business Monkey.
He's currently working on revamping the code in the back end, and once that's done, we're probably gonna start looking into making the leaderboard public with Twitch authentication, which means that people will be able to log in with their Twitch account and modify their submissions and stuff.
Holy man.
Um, the big plans, honestly. Like Skinscore, the end game here is to kind of release it. So that's something that people should be looking forward. And for other streamers, for streamers that might be interested in using it, because I know right now it's really my thing. But we have plans on making it on a like a whitelist basis, so people streamers with my permission could use Skinscore and do Skinscore streams in the future.
That's awesome, man. So you got some big plans for the future. This is gonna be a very big long-term goal.
Yeah, I mean, we're expecting so like what we have in mind right now, I don't know if like we're going fast enough to reach that goal right now, but what we have in mind is Q1 2025 Skin Score should have like everything released. And in like a month or two, we should have like a public leaderboard available to people.
So what has it been like meeting some of these people in the CS community through, like you said, through Twitter, some people rating your Twitch chat, or just people coming to the Twitch chat for the first time? I personally feel like once you put yourself out there and you put all your ideas out into the public eyes, such as you're doing, you really get to see how big the community is, and it's pretty amazing when you look at it all. Like what are your thoughts on all of that? How has this journey been for you so far?
Something I realized is that the community, it's first of all, it's amazing. Of course, I feel like I'm very lucky to have been welcomed that quickly to the community. For someone who's been part of like the CS Tour community for like around 7 months now, I feel like I've been very lucky to get where I got today. Um, and speaking of like how big you say the community is, something I noticed is that there's always more to the community. There's like so many niche little spheres in the Counter Strike community
Big
that there's
time.
always more people to meet. When it comes to the skin community, I feel like skins and collector. I feel like I know a lot of people, and that's kind of like my own sphere. Uh, but then I look around, and it just takes a little bit of investigating to look around, and you realize, oh, but you don't know about all of these surfers, and there's so many people you don't know about the surfing community, and then you look at the competitive scene, and then you've got like up and coming people who are really good at the game, and then just like people who are like just there to entertain, like Do Up and Turbine, and it's just like it's a bunch of little communities intertwining in the big Counter Strike community. And it's very interesting when you realize that.
For sure. And like I've been on Twitter for a couple years now, but I kind of just started getting like really into Twitter like within the last year. And within doing that, like obviously everyone knows Counter-Strike is one of the biggest FPS games on the planet. But like when just like you said, when you look into the little niches and stuff like that, like there is so much more than what you would expect from this game, even knowing how many millions of people play it. There's so many unique and creative people and just so many amazing, just super friendly people, just generous people. It's such a great community when you look past all the toxicity.
What unites us all is our love for Counter Strike.
That's it.
Like no matter in what form it comes, whether it's the skins, developing skins, making maps, creating like adventure maps or whatever, like it comes in many forms. But Counter Strike is Counter Strike, and that's why people say it's much more than a game.
It is. And I say that to like, my parents kind of don't really understand it too much. Like I've met longtime friends over this game. I've made so many memories over like I know it's just a game, but it's really just like you said, so much more than just a game. Like it really is.
I can't name a single other game that is like Counter Strike in this aspect.
No, not at all. So that's pretty much all I had for you. This has been a super good conversation, and again, I appreciate you coming out and doing this with me.
Of course,
Um,
man.
I like to leave the last part of my show for the guests to plug any projects they're working on or share a message, shout people out, whatever they want. The floor is yours for the last part of the show. Tell the people anything you want.
I mean, I like if there's anything I want to say, honestly, is it's thank you for everything. I do not have anything to plug. I think I'm pretty like open when it comes to that. But I feel very at home in the Counter Strike community, and and to be able to say that in 7 months, and I feel like I would have been able to say that in a lot less than that, of being part of said community is just completely amazing. And I mean, made the community never change because it is truly flamboyant in its own way.
Alrighty, we are now tapping back in on the outro here. I want to thank each and every one of you for checking out this episode. Hats off to Bob Calvery, man. He's doing a lot of great things, and I wish him nothing but the best. If the podcast keeps growing at the incline that it's growing, would you guys like to see merch? Would you guys like to see like some hoodies, some t-shirts, some coffee mugs? I'm always drinking coffee. I know a lot of people like to drink coffee when they're listening to podcasts. Would that be something you guys are into? Let me know in the comments. Tell me what you guys would like to see. Like the video, comment on the video, let me know what you think, and subscribe, and make sure you got the notification bell on, because every Friday we are keeping the streak going. Every Friday, new episode. Every single Friday. Thank you all very much. We are signing out, and we will catch you next week. Till next time, fellas.